Last week, Daryl and Jesse worked like heroes getting the road wheels off. Now it's time to clean them up, pull out the bearing assemblies, and press on new rubber tyres. Hi, I'm Kurt from Oz Armour, and welcome to Workshop Wednesday. That's it.
Before we get back onto the wheels, Ryan has been working hard on the linkages he and Bo pulled out a few weeks ago.
This is the gear shifter assembly that we pulled off and we've cleaned up on the bench, cleaned all the pins up. As you can see, there's new spring and everything in there. You know, we pulled this out and we put it on the lathe and we just gave it a took a little bit off that because there was a lot of build up in here. That's why it was so seized. Back together, greased up, ready to go on.
Man, all that trouble we had with that pin.
It just comes straight out.
Just make sure I get the right position. Just something like that. Just like that. There we go. I haven't tried this yet, but this is going to be the most fiddliest bit, I'd say. Trying to get this pin tightened up. Just got to use an open and drive the whole way. Down that hole, just got to hold this other side of the shaft. Yeah, we haven't got much room. Go into reverse, press the button, see that lifts up, and that allows you to go over. Reverse.
Wow.
Can't go back in. Feels good.
Alright.
Really good.
So what's next? This flange.
Next we're going to put this brake cover on. I'll slip one bolt there, so if I lift it up, I might get you to come through and just slide a bolt through. We'll try to get this off. Yeah.
Try on this one. This top one.
This. Yep. It's in. And then you can feel it, you know, and then you tighten the bolt. That works, that operates now, that handbrake. We can all the way down and then on. For us. Next we're just going to put that flange.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This flange on.
Yeah.
It was just easy to remove that to get everything off. Now we'll get that back on.
anti-seize all on it. It's going to need it, and it's just going to help it for later if we have to pull it off again. Just get it all in its blind because I want that to slide on nice. The seat of the light,
Alright, it's good.
it's already got anti-seize on it.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll see what happens. And we're going to have to probably give it a tap. Each time we're tightening that, then we're hitting it.
Yeah.
We're getting a bit more. Might be pretty close. Yeah, didn't move that nut then.
Take two.
Egg 2. There we go.
Oh, ready to go.
So that, we lock that on.
Yeah.
Release it. So that works. And we'll change gear. Oh, that's reverse. That one. Well, I think that's
It's pretty low.
Yeah, it is. So this one's... Yeah, that's forward. Forward. Yeah, set it up. Sit up. Yeah, everything's good. Well, we won't know until we put an engine in and drive it, but everything should do what it's meant to do. And originally they have a clutch there onto a drive shaft coupling, thumbs down, and drives that transmission. And then you've got your linkages that run underneath that were in here. We've still got to free all those up and clean all that up, make new ones and that sort of stuff. That operates throttle and clutch down the back there. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Daryl has been stripping the bearings out of the road wheels.
I've got to get these metal retainers out first off. So we've made up a little jig, makes it a lot easier. When you go through the US manuals on everything, they've got a tool for just about everything. Well, we don't have access to those tools. We've got to try and come up with an idea that'll work. And I've got to try and save these metal flanges. That's locked in. We're going to use this ring similar to what we showed the other day, pulling off the wheel. Alright, now it's just a matter of winding that out. It's the old grease and that. And we managed to pull that ring off without damaging it. So we're going to see if we can get new ones. If not, that's what we're trying to save these in case we have to reuse them. That gives us access to the bearing now. And actually this one doesn't look too bad. These are Timkins.
Made by our good friends in the US of A.
That's the spacer between the two bearings runs on the inner race. Then this outer race runs on this cone. It's a cone, it's tapered, match the angle that's on this bearing here. So I've just got to flip this over, do the other side, and then that's ready to clean up. That's that actual seal we pulled out before. That's that one there.
Oh, just on the other side.
Just on the other side, yeah.
Why is it so badly damaged on this side?
Just wear and tear, and as a farm vehicle it wouldn't get as much maintenance as it probably deserved. So this is the inside of the wheel, and as you can see, even this has got a bit of wear on it. It's just, without proper maintenance, these things will just flog themselves out after a while.
Are they all damaged on the inside like this, more so than the out?
This is the worst one we've found. There's a little bit of wear and tear, but not too bad. I'm just going to have to see if this little jig we made up will actually have enough purchase power to pull this out. It's kind of locked under there, that's okay. No, it's just bent the edges off. Beautiful.
Bit of faith.
Oh, just stopped at the end. Winners are grinners.
There we go. There's two of those bearings.
Yep. This is the cone we were talking about earlier, the one I took away earlier. It's the part that's still in here. And as you can see, it's tapered. See, it's narrow at the top, wide at the bottom. I'm thinking because of the strength in it, it might be a lot stronger. The trouble we have with these is I think you can see all the case hardenings where it worn off them. You can see, or it might be just grease, but we're going to try and replace them with new sets of bearings. We've got to locate some and see how it all goes.
What's happened to this one?
See, when we've cleaned it all up, it's all fractured around here.
Well, it was like that before?
Yeah, well that's how it's come off the tank. Luckily, we went up to the warehouse and we've got another one here. The problem with this one is this is an early style Grant bearing set up by the look. You've got two seals, one, and then you can see the joint, and then there's a second one there. What we're running Sherman ones, M4 Shermans on ours, because that's how they came to Australia. But we must have also had other Grants that have used this style. The wheels are the same size, same diameter, just slightly different way they've set up inside. A bit of room.
And these seals are obviously not like plastic.
No, they've got a metal rim around them. Not like the modern ones today that are all made of a composite material or a plastic.
It's on there.
Yeah, there's no pretty way of getting them off, so I don't know what we're going to do. They've got solid sides, and there's only a very small gap in between. Even though there's grease here, at least it's protected it from getting rust, hopefully. Got 1.5 out. I pull the part off it. There's the rubber seal part.
It smells like coffee.
Yeah. We've got to try and source a modern alternative that'll hopefully do better. Because as you can see, these ones have failed over time.
I don't think we'll be working the vehicle as hard as what these guys might have been.
These vehicles have. Once they come here, they get a bit of a holiday, really. There we go. Now this bearing is not a tapered bearing like you showed before. These are a square bearing. What I have to do is actually flip it over and punch it out. And then flip it over and do the other side again. There's the spacer, and as you can see the difference bearings, it's a square sided bearing.
And there's the space. Are the spacers the same?
Well, that's what they should be, because the housings inside should be the same. In the M3 grant book that we have, it shows a square bearing, 2 seals or retainers. You never know what you're going to find. It's just, you start pulling things apart. They've been worked on for 80 years since the war. They might have had modifications during the war. You just don't know what you're going to find.
And these are just the bearings. Engines, transmissions, drive lines, suspension, gauges, differentials, all incredibly intricate and complex pieces that are expensive to reproduce or impossibly rare to find, which is why we are so lucky that this vehicle is mostly complete. After some incredibly cool slow motion shots last week, Jesse has managed to cut the old tyres off the wheels. They're no good to use, but they're just too good to throw away. If you have any ideas on what to do with them, let us know in the comments. These are the new tyres. Well, new-ish. They're new old stock, which means they would have been brand new and unused in 1942. Today we'll be using our 300-tonne press. Jesse has made a spacer to ensure the wheel isn't pressed on too far. This plate on top will help press the tyre on evenly. Well, that's the plan anyway.
You want to hit it with a rubber mallet like we did there?
Another one. We'll get as many as we can. That's 13 mil. 14 mil.
A little bit harder or not?
No, it was winding up the stand. Like that's 12 mil. Yeah.
Each wheel requires a little bit of grinding and wire wheeling to make it slide on easier.
Slide on all that oil.
Alright? Fingers out.
I reckon the first one went really well.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. There you go. That's the other one. You know, that carry in the centre. I'll put some here and I'll just start doing this. I don't know about the world, I'm not. You got that one go around the side.
Can you hold the wheel?
Sometimes the spacer needs a bit of a tap back into place. Really amazing that all of these tyres didn't come from the same place. The entire US industrial economy was truly mobilised to make parts for the war.
What we've got here is 3 different manufacturers of these new old stock rubbers. We've got one for Daytona rubber, Firestone and Goodyear. And we've just noticed something that on the Goodyear rims, they've got a pronounced curve rather than a straight chamfer. So that's going to make it easier to centre on the rim to press it on to start with. So that edge curve.
I had it all perfect, Daryl.
Yeah, I know.
Fingers out. Yep. Oh, too much. Yep, that's better.
Yep. So he's dropped in a lot better.
Sounded a lot easier.
There is something really satisfying about the press. I just love seeing these tyres go on. The pressure exuded on these wheels is phenomenal.
American Ordnance mark on here. I don't know if you spotted it. Working? See it's going down okay?
Is it level curve?
Feels even. Oh, that's perfect. Pump it with this straight away.
Gotta go that way a little bit.
Yep.
Oh no! Fingers out.
If it doesn't, I'm playing anyway. Daryl gets played. Beautiful.
I'll probably watch them when they first come out. First one with no camera.
This wheel is made slightly different to the others and needs a little bit more packing to ensure that it's pressed on evenly. That's all we have time for today. Join us next Wednesday for your weekly tank restoration fix. So until then, I'm Kurt from Oz Armour, and I'll see you on the next one.